Okay, and I'm just, oh, come on, move. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at this model. This model has been set up with a rig with Advanced Skeleton, and after playing with it for a little while, trying to figure out how to tweak up the controls, they've changed a few things in Advanced Skeleton. One of the first things I want to do is, here, let's take a look and see what happens. When I move this jaw controller around, we got all sorts of weird issues here. Okay, so then I happen to know there's a bunch of joints that are floating around in this. And if I put the visualizer on here, I went and I grabbed the outside box, and you can see the control box here, joint vis off. Let's turn them on. And I've got this open over here, so let's just pop up here, and I'm just going to find the joint display and make them smaller. Okay, so something becomes immediately noticeable right here. These joints are for the mouth. Okay, and so that's a problem. And so the question is, why did that happen? Okay, so we start looking at this model. One other thing, the model is quite small. Okay, if I go and I measure it, first thing I'm going to do, let's measure. I think this turns out to be 11 centimeters tall. So I'm just going to make sure I go in here to, who am I, what am I doing? Create, measure tools, distance tool. Click there, click here. 11 centimeters roughly. Okay, so that's kind of short. I would probably, I don't know, I think 1.5 meters maybe. This character looks tiny, whatever, but I'd make it bigger before I fix it up. Let's go back here though, and just trying to cover all my points as I see them on my little list. I have a list beside me. So immediately you can spot n-gons. So I'm kind of wondering, why did those jaw bones or those lip bones go up here? There's those n-gons in the center of the eye. They're a potential problem. If I start looking right here in the corner of the mouth and around the edges of the mouth, there's kind of wonky geometry. You start right here. Let's just turn off soft selection. There, things are cool, but then as we get into here, this all gets wonky right in here. These should have nice edge flows into the center here. And what else did I notice? If I go inside, so everything's cool here, and then as we get into the corners where there's a problem, if I take a look here, this one kind of, there's a weird loop right through the lip that I'd want that edge loop to fall around the whole model. Also, there's little things like there's a face in the center, and there's not a complete edge loop going through here. I always find that's a problem. Maybe one other thing to point out. Front view? Why is this telling me that's the front view? I'll just go to panels and I'll hit what the hell I'm looking for. Where's default view? And if I hit default view, blink, there, flips that front around so it's in the right position. And another thing I noticed as I was going in here, let's hit 4. And I think it's really hard to see, but if I select these vertices, maybe right here, I notice that they all, after everything's all fixed, they need to be snapped to the center. And actually there's a weird one right there. We can spot there's a problem. But I noticed that they were not lined up. Maybe it might have been me fixing this, because I went and I fixed this model up and took a look at it and made sure it worked inside of Advanced Skeleton. Okay, but I noticed that there was something wrong with the center here. But let's see, center line, n-gons, what other problems could be in here? So we gotta get rid of our n-gons. Remember that if you're getting rid of your n-gons, if you hit 5, go here to select, and I go to use constraints, and I go into face mode. Okay, constrain current and next selection, select everything, and then I'm going to go over here to n-sided. Actually, I'm going to turn my symmetry off, and I'm going to go and turn this to n-sided, and then we can see n-gons. Why is this freaking out when I do that? Might be because it's small. Okay, but I've got to go through and find the n-gons. So if I go here, there's an n-gon here, there's a triangle there. Whenever you have something like this, you can just go in here and go collapse. There, that's quads. The thumb geometry is not the greatest here for deformations. That's going to be a little bit wonky. I think there's another bad end gone right in here someplace. Yeah, remember, the fast way is doing that, right? The odd triangle is not a bad thing, but you do try to avoid them. I try to keep everything in nice flowing quads. Fingers aren't looking too bad. You might need some more edge loops where it's going to bend, but, and I'd probably reduce some of this geometry that's going up to the arm up in here. There's too much, but we got to fix the end guns with the occasional triangle and better edge loops around the mouth. And just remember, the strategy is if I go in here, okay, we see that's working, and get here, this one not so much. So what I do is I start cutting. I might even detach the mouse sock off and just delete it and make a brand new one because it's faster. But if I go in here, and let's cut there. And because it's really small, you'll notice the camera when I'm working it is jerky. It's really frustrating. But I start doing this, and then I start going in. Let's take this out of here. So that's looking better. Okay, I might even out the edge loops. So there. What about this one? If I go and I get my multi-cut tool, I cut across here, that quad's looking better. Then let's move this over here. I'm not going to do this whole thing in front of you. It took me a little while to kind of do it. And then actually, what if we took, I have to zoom out a bit. Took this one, take this one out of here. Okay, let's stare at this again. Let's take this one. I'm going to go from there to there. Then I'll take this one, and I'll go from there to that line there. Great. And then this one, go to this line. Okay, there, we got it. Sometimes you have to stand back and stare at it for a second, and it all becomes apparent. And see right in here, the camera jerking back and forth? This drives me nuts, especially trying to get in here and select something. There. Okay, there we go. And what do we got? Got a triangle over here. So here, I'll show you another maneuver. If I go like this, and I go over to here, great. And I'm going to take this one, I'm going to go trucking right over to here. Oh, maybe I'm showing you too much. I'm skipping over too many things as I do this, but that's getting my little edge loop is working here. Move this way, and I just skip right across this, get rid of that triangle. And then we get over here, and then it starts to get wacky again. Let's see, what if I take this one? Collapse the edge. Actually, that one's looking good. I'm going to move this vertice down here a little bit. This one, it's not what I want. There, I'm just going to take these edges out of here. Take that one out, delete edge. Come on. And this might take a little while of vertice wrangling, but boop, boop, there, and there. Also remember that I should be doing this on the reference model, not the model that's actually attached to the skeleton right now, because once you delete the history on this thing, this is just going to screw it up. But there you kind of see a little bit about how to start fixing that. Anything else I want to say in here? I'm trying to remember if there's any other things. I might go and bring these little, in the area of the tear ducts, I might bring those in a bit. You'll see in a second that could be a problem, so I might fix that on the model. Okay, mouth loops, end guns, center lines, size, eyes. And actually one other thing I might point out that I noticed is maybe working a little bit funny on this. Here, let's turn these joints off. Is unfortunately this little thing where I make the eye bulge out here on the cartoony characters, it might come out too much and it's a little bit too abrupt and it looks a bit funny. I might make that a bit rounder. Okay, which also brings me to another point on this model. Let's go and take a look at this one eyeball. Let's go to the front view. Just gonna hit F, and they're wonky. They should be straightforward. I go ahead and I hit 4. I'm just gonna center me pivots. and I got to get my rotate tool. I want to get that so they're more or less straight. I might build a brand new one, but oh, you bastard. Let's go and do this. Straighten it up with the grid. Okay. I can get it just ballpark, and I'll just freeze it. Okay, and it's going to work. But, yeah, it's going to work. It'll be fine. Sometimes having them off a little bit makes them seem a bit more natural. Anyway, got to do them both eyes. And I think that's good. Let's bring everything back. So those are all my little points. So let's get out of here. And then I went and I built the advanced skeleton. I did the whole thing again. File, recent files. Let's bring in the Bob rig. Okay, I don't need to save any of this stuff. Continue. Continue. There it is. Okay, so in this case here, now if I take a look, if I go in here and I throw in the joints, you'll see those joints that were up around the nose here are all around the lip. You can totally see it on this model here. Book. This is one where I cleaned it all up and re-referenced it in, got rid of the weird center point. Yeah, you can see in here, I missed that there was a couple vertices that weren't centered. And so on this model, I'd have to go back to the other one and fix it. But I didn't notice them till the very end. I should have checked, but I didn't. And now they're kind of a little bit wacky on this one. Anything else I can say in here? Got rid of all the N-gons just to make sure it worked. But also, I should mention, lay out the UVs before you do this. Lay out the UVs before you do it. You'll be much happier. Put everything back. Now, the question is, if I grab this and I move it, whoop, we still got, well, okay, what's happening here? Let's just, let's just hide the joint. So that looks interesting, but it's not exactly what I was hoping for. There's something wrong with the teeth here. What the hell is this crap? Okay. So, previously, let's go down here and hide that thing. And actually, maybe I have to keep that open. It's in here. In the face stuff, there's that pre-fit. And then we go down into the blend shapes. They used to have this thing called the Blend Shape Wizard, and I can't make that work anymore, so I don't know what's going on with that. But what they got instead is this blend shapes here. You can go to keep blend shapes and targets. When you turn this on, everything stops. Right? Okay. Oh, keep this on. Then box controls. What's going on? She's duplicating. So convert to blend shapes. So I put this on. You can see the face is going into all these crazy distortions. Now what's going on is this gives you the ability to come in and fix your problems. And so, let's see, I'm not sure. If I go down, where is it on this one? There's the shapes. So if I hit this, there's all your blend shapes. And let's pick out the jaw open one. So actually I did this through the hypergraph. I'm just going to see if I can spot it. So mouth pucker, lower roll, open, mouth open right there. And there's mouth open teeth. So I'm going to grab these two and let's just isolate them. Boop, there. So there's that problem. The mouth, when it opens, you can see that the teeth, oh, that's the teeth upper. I want the teeth lower. So let's just grab these two, unisolate, isolate again. There. Or I could have just, if you want to grab something, you can go up here to show isolate, and you can add selected objects, so you don't have to do that. I don't know. Sometimes it's easier to know that. So the teeth, those are pretty solid. We want to leave those alone. There's something funny going on here with this, though. We can see this one vertice shooting up. Let's pull this down. Let's just hit F. And notice my camera's better because I changed the size on this one. I made the character 1.5 meters tall. There. let's grab this thing, and I'm just going to do like a grow selection. Okay, and maybe I'm going to hit relax. Okay, and see if relax helps me out. Maybe some of this stuff seems a little bit distorted around here. Maybe I'll switch into my paintbrush, and here I've got it on relax, so if I come in here and I do this, I can paint around the edges. Okay, and that'll make stuff a little bit less distorted and wonky. Okay, it might be a little bit time consuming, but this is going to fix up a lot of my stuff. I've got just a lot of heads to go through and tweak, but they're all kind of in the right ballpark, I think. Okay, let's go back and let's switch to the move tool. And I'm just going to grab this. Actually, let's grab this. I'm going to hit B. B is going to change my my drop off. Okay, great. And maybe I'll take this one. If I go up here to symmetry and I try object X. Okay, there. Oh, we want to bring this down so the teeth, oh, and the symmetry isn't on that one, so let's grab this one on the side. Yeah, because the symmetry's off again in the center here, so that was that thing I was complaining about earlier. Boop. There. Let's pull that down, maybe pull it out this way a little bit. No, it's not going to be happy when I do that. Come on. Okay, anyway. There, I fixed that. I could go in there and fix some other things in the back of the lips and stuff like that, but we'll say that's good for now. Let's just test this out. Let's check it out. What just happened? Let's turn this off, and all those heads. If I go up here and take a look, there's my controller right there. Let's just hit 4 to go into wireframe. And there's that. Come on, you little bastard. There's that diamond there. And what time am I at? 17 minutes. Okay, good. And I'm going to go in and let's hit 5. And we happen to know that all we have to do is drop this down. That's going to open the jaw. So that what I just changed is just fixed right there. So I could go through, and if I see that there's something wrong with these different shapes, I can find the different mouth in here. And it might take a little while, but I can go in and tweak them. Let's just take a look. Is there some other ones that are nasty? What's this one? Ah. Let's just take a look at that face. Boop. What did it do? So when it has the phonemes there, yeah, there's all sorts of stuff I've got to fix. So actually, let's try and do this one really fast. How about this? And then I'll stop. So I got this thing on. If I go in here, there's a vertice that's floating here, so I gotta see if that brings it in. Yay! And this stuff up in here, that might just be, let's go in here and I'm gonna use the smooth. Because for the off face, there's a lot of trouble there in these corners. And I might, actually this is, I don't know if I'd buy all these phonemes this guy put in here. They don't work exactly the way I'd want them to, but I'd find the major ones, is a major one, and tweak this one, for instance. Okay, so there. That's kind of fixed. I'll put on the relax again. Okay, so the geometry isn't distorting quite as badly as it was. Make that bigger and see what happens here. Nope. Undo, undo. Don't undo too quickly. Okay, I'm going to call that good and stop. Let's go back here, turn off the isolate, and if I go into here, I'll hit 4, and I grab the A, and the A brings up all the phonemes, and then I can hit, I could find this another different way, but anyway, I'm just grabbing this so I can get the phonemes. Check out the A face now, and there's what I just fixed. Okay, so there you go, and you take a look like E. There's some troubles that it had. And then, once you're all done, and you've tweaked these things, you can just go up here, take this AS, that's the Advanced Skeleton Blend Shapes group, and just delete it. And I'll turn off my symmetry. And if I take a look here, what if I go in and go to build pose for face? I'll just check out my jaw. My jaw is fixed, and I can fix all the other ones too. So there it is, fixing the blend shapes on your face. First off, we just got to make sure that all the controls are working correctly. So I'm going to stop here.